you're 92 years old, going on 93 now, and as a young man, you grew up on a farm with your father. Your family came here from Germany in the
71.
1771, and around the farm, you guys would have every animal, everything had its purpose. Everything worked, and you guys had a bulldog there, and obviously it was called a white English bulldog, which is what we're going to talk about. Can you tell us a little bit about what the story was when you were growing up, about why people called it a white English bulldog, and a little bit of history behind the bulldog and how it got to America?
Well, they're a good-looking dog. I mean, just to view them, they're good-looking, not awkward-looking or anything, and their head was nice. And they didn't have a turned-up nose or anything. Their nose comes straight out, and their jaw didn't project over the other one. It comes straight out but they had that big head and went with it. But they were a good-looking dog to the eye. 100 and some pounds probably, maybe more than that. They're solid. Well, they said they came from England. That's what they always said. They had to be brought here for way back somewhere to be here, because I'm going on 93, and think how far back that is. They must have been pretty common around that time. He was highly intelligent, not hard-headed like a lot of bulldogs. Well, your dad didn't have time to fool with him that much, but you all seen how he had him trained. I mean, if he said sick 'em, that meant go get 'em, and he would. He'd go wherever he said sick, he'd go after it. But I do know this: if he went up to a cat and it scratched him, it's a dead cat. And but I seen him walk up to chickens and different things, and of course the chicken would just walk away, and he'd just walk away too. He never barked when company came. He met them at the gate, but he wouldn't go clear up. He'd go so far, and I suppose he's going to check him out to where they're going to challenge him or not. But he just stood there, and then they'd yell for my dad, said, "Hey, Albie, get your dog. I want to talk to you." And Dad would say, "It's all right." And he would turn around and walk off. But he was so protective. I mean, whatever he protected with all he had. Then their disposition was different than other dogs, the English bulldogs. They didn't run up and charge on something, More or less calm-like dog. Not high-powered. I never heard him bark. He's a silent guy.
Is it fair to say that a white English bulldog at that time did any jobs from protecting the estate and its occupants, herding, catching cattle and livestock, to just all around farm utility work?
Yeah. He's a family dog. They all love the darn dog to pieces. And who wouldn't? All us kids. And he wasn't rough. He's gentle around. Some dogs are big around kids, knock them down. He never did things like that. No, he didn't. It's hard to believe that they was like that. And I mean, they weren't trained that way, they just was that way. I mean, he took care of us kids.
Well,
we had a lot of livestock, we can't have kids run all over the farm alone. I remember one time I don't know how big I was, but I was big enough to straddle him. And I had the scissors, and my mom come out and caught me, and he was whining, and she heard him, you know, and I had his ear bleeding. I was trying. She said, "What are you trying to do?" I said, "I'm kind of clipping his ears." I said, and he never tried to bite me. No, no. Well, my dad farmed this farm, and it was about 3 miles away from the house, and he didn't pay any attention, and the dog decided to go with him, and he was behind the wagon, you know. He always took the wagon down the field. Here was the Bulldog. Well, he stayed with him. He wanted to stay with him, and so when he left, in the evening, the dog was laying on his coat because he laid it down on there, and he just hurrying around, left him there, and didn't know it.
So your dad laid the coat down, and the dog laid the coat, and your dad took off and went to finish the day's work.
Yeah, with the hired hand, you know, and
so you came back. How many hours later did you come back?
They left him down there all night. He could figure he came home, was laying around somewhere.
Right.
And then the next morning he went down there, and here he was laying on that coat.
That
all night long.
What would happen if someone, say one of the people that watch this, would go try to get that coat from that dog?
You wouldn't get it. You wouldn't get it. And he was getting hogs to be put in the pen. We had a boar there. He'd take these hogs and he'd put them in the pen, and he'd take and knock the tusk off because they would kill a cow or anything, you know. And he wouldn't go in that pen, the chute they had, so he put the Bulldog on him, sicked the Bulldog on him, and he got a hold of him somewhere, and that darn boar run in there, ka-thunk, and hit that edge of that, and they put that thing around his head, the boar. And Dad said, "Where's the boar, or the dog?" They said, "I don't know, he must be underneath it. He'll probably be dead." Said he's laying on him. And so we hurry up and knocked his teeth off, and he opened him up and he let him out the front, you know, and he was alive under there. He didn't have any broken bones or anything. I don't know where he was under there.
So they were a resilient dog as far as they could.
So how in the devil he breathed, I don't know. Well, I'll tell you, the dogs he got in a fight with is the ones that come after him when he's behind that wagon. And I can remember that one time he grabbed that dog by the shoulder up here like this, and he wouldn't let go, and he just flopped him down around, and that dog didn't try to fight. It just, like that. Dad had a heck of a time getting him off of him. He put his foot on his head and talked to him, and he let go. I think that you're going to find that there's more than you think. You know, you connect with another one and another one, you're going to find that they're still out there.
For doing this interview with these guys, though, we'll wave at them.
All right.